guys, it's Don from Property Providers. I hope you're all well. I wanted just to take a moment to address a question that keeps on coming up, which is owners requesting to be paid in advance of either a long-term lease or a short-term rental. I'll start with this. The faster we, as an agency, pay you, the faster we get paid. So that is actually in our best interest. However, in our standard practices for a long-term lease is that you will be paid 1 month in advance. That is because it's an annuity. We have a lease agreement in place for a year or 2 years. It's the same rent every month. And of course, we're holding 4 weeks worth of bond in Fair Trading's rental bond board. As it relates to short-term rentals, we pay 1 month. We pay 1 month in arrears pro rata. So we need to pay on what has happened, what we think is going to happen, and that comes to the fact that probably 30 or 40% of our bookings, of the short-term rental bookings, get moved in some way. They get extended, they get shortened, they get maybe there's a date shift that shifts them over into another month or what have you. So there's a lot of movement in that space. In addition, whereas in a long-term lease, the rent is stable. It is stable and consistent over a longer period of time. The short-term rentals, the rent can vary. Obviously, what you're getting for Easter would be very different than what you're getting in February or March, right? So we got to pay on what's happened. Also, there are things that happen that are completely out of our circle of control, right? So often what we get is, we get a tenant. They're wealthy and well financially established, and for whatever reason, they put forward an offer to pay in advance. Okay, I want to pay 6 or 12 months in advance because I can, or because frankly it's easier to run it through the accounts payable once with Macquarie Bank than it is to get a monthly payment done, right? So the owner says to us, we want to be paid in advance. Well, we can't really do that. And the reason why, without a very careful consideration of a proposal, and the reason why is because we don't know what's going to happen. The house next door could get knocked down by a tree in a storm. There could be undesirable neighbors. There could be a family law matter. There could be a whole bunch of different things that happen over the course of that property. Same thing happens with short-term rentals. We might have a seasonal owner who takes a $50,000 Christmas booking. Well, I want the money now. Well, what happens if that guest, for whatever reason, decides to cancel the booking a month later, and because there's a health issue and they need to go through travel insurance? Again, we've released in these particular cases, we would have released the funds, therefore putting the guest at risk as well as the agency at risk. Generally, I would love to be able to pay people in advance because it means that I would be paid faster, that we would be paid faster, but we're generally unable to do it because it just creates way too much risk, way too much unknown. And I guess what I wanted to say is all the money is moving through a registered, quarterly audited Australian trust account. And the trust account exists for a reason, and it's basically to protect everybody in the transaction. I hope this provides a little bit more context. The last thing we want to, as Sydney's most flexible residential rental agency, we want to be flexible. We want to be different than the pedestrian franchise down the street, but in the same sense, know this we need to protect everyone in the transaction. I hope that gives a little bit more context to what might be seen to be a bit rigid. And look, again, if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and my team, and we'd love to give you some more context. Thanks a lot, and have a good day.